Hello, you guys. Oh my god. So the antibiotics are working. I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I feel so happy. I feel so light. I feel incredible. And I know that I'm sorry, I shouldn't feel so happy right now. The world is in a really terrible state, and there's a lot of people who are suffering really badly, and I'm just really happy. I need to express the fact that I feel so relieved and so happy. Oh my god. Antibiotics are like the most incredible thing in the whole world. Like, I went from feeling like death, like to the point where I thought that I probably should keep my phone right next to me all night just in case I woke up in the middle of the night and I was dying and I needed to call an ambulance because I was like, this is. I feel like I've gone septic. This is bad. I'm not gonna live through this. Within like a day, and being like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, when we created antibiotics, we established a level of brilliance that I don't know if. I'm sure we have matched it. I'm sure we have in many different fields, but it's got to be one of the best inventions that humans have ever done. Antibiotics. Oh my god, it feels so good. The absence of illness. You know that thing about how, like, the light only shines in the dark and you only really understand happiness if you've been sad. It's really true. Like, I feel, first of all, I feel like a pansy. I'm really sorry that I am this way, but I'm not used to being ill. I'm not used to being chronically ill. I'm not used to feeling pain every day. I don't have a chronic injury. I know people who have migraines. I don't have migraines. I know people who have been in car accidents and just have constant back pain. I know people who are chronically ill. Their insides are upset at them all the time. I know people like that. And they live with it day after day after day after day. And I am not like that. And I am incredibly lucky that I am not like that. And so, therefore, when I get sick, it's like the worst thing in the world. And the relief of it and feeling healthy again is just, it's just lightness and joy. So I feel so good right now. Thank you. Thank you, science. So things are good. Yeah. Cough's still here. Again, working on it. Working on it. Yeah. So what do it's interesting now though. It's sort of like my main concern for a little while there, for a few days there, was, oh my god, I'm sick. What am I sick with? Am I going to get better? And now that I'm like, okay, I'm going to get better now. I'm not all the way there, but I'm definitely getting better. Then there's that feeling in the back of my mind that's like, okay, so then all the other things are going to come rushing back again. The fact that I do not have coronavirus. Excuse me. I know I just coughed in my hand, but I'm in my own home, and I'm going to wash my hands before I touch anything or anybody, I promise. What was I going to say? I just, since I don't have coronavirus, right? I am now not immune, so that means that I'm going to have to go back to. I would anyway to protect other people, but I am going to have to go back to sort of worrying about my own exposure when I am allowed to go back out into the world, and all that. And I did get very upset today, just about being so very alone. Um, just realizing that I was going through this sort of revelatory moment where I'm just like, oh my god, I feel so good. And I have absolutely nobody here. There's nobody with me except a cat who doesn't care. um, yeah, so Yeah, I have a feeling I'm sort of going to get through this euphoria and then just be like, okay. Right. And I do see people who have kids um, complaining about people who don't have kids because the people who have kids are overrun right now with kids, obviously, and they can't go to play dates and they can't hang out with their friends and they can't go outside to sort of, big events, or you can't go on the trip that you had planned or whatever for spring break. And I get that for sure. But it is funny that like every group of people um, thinks that they've got it really bad. Every group looks at every other group and is like, oh, you shouldn't complain. I've got it worse than you. Like people with kids are like, oh my god, the kids are the worst. It's like I love them, but I gotta entertain them all the time now. Um, Couples are like, you know, wondering if the tight space means that they're going to absolutely destroy each other by the end of whatever their quarantine period is. Because tight quarters are really tough on relationships. So they're sort of like, they're like, getting upset with each other and looking at people who don't have that situation and feeling envious. And then there's us single people who are like, yeah, but at least you have somebody, at least there's somebody in your house with you. For us, we just have the echoes of upstairs neighbors and mice in the walls for most of us, and pets. So everybody's doing that thing where they're complaining about their situation and think they've got it bad, and in truth, if you're breathing, you haven't got it bad. So yeah, yeah. I listened to an absolutely beautiful From Home concert today by James Blake. I just caught it. I think he just sort of, I happened to be on Instagram when it sort of came up and it said James Blake is live. And I was like, oh God. So I clicked through and it was the most beautiful thing. Just, I mean, he's incredible. And then in this really intimate setting in his own home, and he's just singing into his phone. The quality was probably not as amazing as it could have been, but it was so special. And it made me cry. I just cried rivers, just sobbed, just listening to him sing and play. It was just beautiful, beautiful. So good. Um, yeah. Oh, I also saw today, which might be of interest to people. There's this podcast called, which I've listened to in the past, which is very interesting and very nerdy, called This Podcast Will Kill You. And it's about diseases and poisons and stuff like that. And it's two lady graduate students who are super nerds and wonderful, and both named Erin, and they talk about sort of the biology of diseases and the history of diseases, where they were first, were appeared in literature, or like in history books, and then symptoms and effects and context, and it's great. They're like hour-long episodes or so about a whole bunch of different things. And they did do a novel coronavirus episode a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something. But now they've released a 6-part podcast series about COVID-19. And I only got through 2 parts today, but it seems absolutely fascinating. Again, very sciencey, so if you like that kind of stuff, I really do. I really, really do. They talk to experts in each podcast, so they talk to like a virology expert and an expert in immunology and all sorts of interesting people who are really, really knowledgeable and they really talk it out for you so that people who aren't scientists can understand. And it's really good. I feel like in this, I've said it before, this sort of uh, the unknowns are the scariest parts, right? So um, listening to stuff that is non-politicized, just knowledge and just science about this disease, this virus, I'm finding really helpful, and I learn little things every time I listen to sort of one of these things. I did learn um, that the coronavirus does not live for very long on paper and cardboard. They said less than 24 hours, probably. So I probably can send that card that I wrote, that condolences card that I really wanted to send, and I probably can send it. So what I'm going to do is I've put it in the freezer just in case it has Streptococcus bacteria on it. I'm really paranoid right now. I'm just gonna freeze it for a few days, and then when I'm out of self-isolation, so I guess in a week and a bit, I will send it, and it'll be fine. And I figure that, words like that, it doesn't really matter if they come a week or two later than I wanted them to come. The thought is still real, and the love is still there, and I really need to send it out and share it. So I am going to do that. Yeah. I worked a lot today. Taught again. I very excitedly told my student that I have strep. Yay! And she was like, yay, with me, because, I mean... because it's a really weird fucking world that we live in right now, that you get congratulated for having strep throat. Yeah. So, that's where we are. Yeah. I think that's it for me tonight. Oh, I should cross off my number. Okay. Oh my goodness. Almost at the end of the first week. And I have so far survived. Also, my appetite is coming back with a vengeance. I think I lost a little bit of weight while I was sick. And so, and that's not a good thing. Like, I'm not the kind of person who wants to lose weight, so please don't congratulate me for that or anything. It's a bad thing to lose weight for me. But now my appetite is coming back, so I ate an entire pizza today, separate from my meals. Like, I had breakfast, and then I had lunch, and then I ate a pizza. And now I'm going to have dinner. It's going to be a different meal. I'm going to have something different. I'm already hungry. Again. Oh my god, I feel so good. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.